And we begin with the urgent search for answers after the horrific and deadly terror attack in New Orleans. The FBI now believes the suspect, Shamsud-Din Jabbar, acted alone and that he was, quote, 100% inspired by ISIS. Surveillance video showing that rented white pickup truck on Canal Street, then turning onto Bourbon Street, evading a parked police car, then speeding down 3 blocks, people scrambling to get out of the way. The truck slamming into a construction crane, the driver killed in a gun battle with police. On the back of his truck, an ISIS flag wrapped in a gray jacket. And tonight we are seeing the faces of some of the 14 people who were killed and hearing from their families about their loss. Before the college football Sugar Bowl game postponed until today, players and fans observing a moment of silence for the victims. And tonight, the FBI also says they have surveillance video showing the suspect planting explosive devices elsewhere in the French Quarter. Fortunately, they did not go off. ABC's Whit Johnson leads us off on Bourbon Street tonight.
Tonight, as investigators dissect hundreds of hours of surveillance footage and field more than 400 tips from the public. The FBI says 42-year-old Shamsud-Din Jabbar was likely a lone wolf terrorist, shutting down earlier fears of possible co-conspirators.
We do not assess at this point that anyone else involved in this attack is involved in this attack except for Shamsud-Din Jabbar.
The FBI says Jabbar drove that rented F-150 truck from Houston to New Orleans on December 31st, posting multiple videos to Facebook along the way, claiming he joined ISIS before last summer and pledged allegiance to the group.
What I can tell you right now is that he was 100% inspired by ISIS.
They say in the hours before the attack, he placed a cooler with an explosive inside on the corner of Bourbon and Orleans Streets and another 2 blocks away, and had a remote detonator to set them off.
We did obtain surveillance footage showing Jabbar placing the devices where they were found.
While speeding down Bourbon Street, hitting pedestrians, the suspect also opened fire with an AR-style rifle before crashing into this construction vehicle. Next to the truck, a mangled motorized wheelchair. Jeremy Sensky was thrown from it. Tonight, the 51-year-old, who was paralyzed from a previous accident, is recovering in the hospital.
I broke my femur.
Both legs?
Both legs. My tibia, I think my right ankle's broke.
Jeremy says he never saw the truck coming, only heard loud bangs and screams before he was knocked to the ground.
How do you have optimism in this moment for the future in the new year?
I'm alive, man. I mean, I'm alive. Everything is good. I just feel bad for the people that didn't make it.
Sensky survived, but at least 14 people were killed. 37-year-old Reggie Hunter was a loving father of 2 young boys. His cousin Sherelle Jackson was texting with him just before the attack.
It was 12:07 when his message came in.
That was the last
message? The last message that I had from him at 12:07 a.m. just on New Year's morning, saying Happy New Year's and that he loved us.
And when you look at that message now?
I'm grateful that I have it.
But hours later, she says, it was her heart-wrenching task of identifying his body at the hospital on New Year's Day.
I said a prayer before I got ready to go in, like, you know, God, give me strength to be able to do this because I'm wanting to be strong.
Did you feel like in that moment, though, you were able to, in some ways, say goodbye?
Yeah. When I picked his hand up and I felt it, it was cold, and I just kissed his hand and said a prayer and said that I love you. And yeah, for me, that was my goodbye to him.
Also killed, 21-year-old Hubert Guthrow, seen here in his high school yearbook photo.
21 years old, still so much life to live and just taken too soon. And it's a tragedy.
Drew Dauphin was 26. His family says he always now will be in the sun at the lake that he loves so much. 28-year-old former Princeton football player Tiger Beck was visiting Louisiana for a long weekend of fishing with some college friends. Kathy and Louis Tenedorio remembering their 25-year-old son, Matthew.
His beautiful face, his laugh, I love you, Mom. You know, he was just a wonderful son.
I'm still in shock, honestly, and as time goes by, I'll see something that reminds me of him and I'll break down. I know that's going to happen probably for the rest of my life.
Officials admit the suspect defeated security by driving onto the sidewalk. Today, new metal barricades were brought to that same spot as Bourbon Street was reopened to the public.
And Whit Johnson with us now from New Orleans. Whit, Bourbon Street there right behind you. It's back open, but the investigation into the attack is far from over. So what's the latest?
Well, Mary, the FBI has just released a poster with new images of the suspect, and they include a photo of Jabbar in the early morning hours of New Year's Day, captured on Bourbon Street, along with an image of one of those IEDs that they say that he left in a cooler nearby. They are asking for the public to come forward with any information that could help. And of course, as you noted, all of this as Bourbon Street is now back open, of course, under heavy security, with authorities continuing to investigate this deadly attack. Mary?
The spirit of New Orleans tonight undefeated. Whit, thank you.